All right, so let's go over comparing ER and EST. So, what I like to tell my students, or what I have told my students in the past, is to remember that when you use ER, you are only comparing two things. When you use EST, you are comparing all things or many things, okay? So, let's get into it. So, 245 in your English books, it talks about comparing ER and EST. So we are going to be, comparing with adjectives or adverbs. So adjectives may be used to compare two or more people, places, or things. We know that, right? You can add the suffix. We know what a suffix is. It comes at the end of our word. You can add the suffix er to short adjectives to compare to, as I've said, and add the suffix est to compare more than to. And adverbs may be used to compare two or more actions. All right. So they give you these examples. An orange is larger than a lemon. Okay. They've compared two things, an orange and a lemon. But then they compare the grapefruit as being, and it is the largest of all fruit. Okay. So you see the difference there. So ER, you are only comparing two things, and EST, you are comparing multiple things or all things. If we look over at adverbs, Nikki ran faster. Again, this is an action. Okay. Nikki is running and George is running. So we have to remember our spellings, right? Because when you need to add an ER to the end of your word, you have to remember, does my word have a Y before I add an ending? Because if it does, I need to drop that Y, add an I, and then add ER. For the example, number 1, funnier. You don't spell it Funnier, right? We need to drop that Y. Funnier. And it's the same thing when you go to funniest. Funniest. Now it gives you some examples up at the top. When an adjective ends in a consonant and a Y, all right? So anytime it ends with a consonant and a Y, you change the Y to an I, and then you add your ending. When an adjective ends with an E, you're going to drop that E before adding ER or EST, okay? I don't think we have an example of this, but other than the example that they provide. So if you notice, they do not spell stranger, Strangeer. They have dropped one of the E's and simply added an ER. Therefore, the word goes from strange with an E on the end to stranger, Stranger. All right, so make sure that we pay attention to spellings. This is going to be important because, as you know, you will see this again somewhere. All right, so what I want you to do is finish up page 245 and 246 today. All right, I will talk to you soon.